Most traders only think about VWAP on the intraday chart. Often we're treating it as a scalp tool. Faded here, bounce there. But if you're a swing trader or a position trader, I can show you the real power of a VWAP when you zoom out. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the VWAP Wave System for swing trading, holding positions not just for minutes or hours, but for days, weeks, or even months. We're going to be working on higher time frame anchors like the yearly, weekly, and monthly VWAPs. And we're going to be layering them with the composite volume profile. This will help us see where the market is building long-term value and where it's rejecting it. The beauty of this approach is that it's universal. It applies just as well to stocks, futures, crypto, or even options when you're analyzing the underlying asset. Because at its core, the VWAP wave system isn't about predicting candles. It's about understanding value, context, and the overarching auction at hand. So if you've ever want a structured way to find high probability swing setups, the kind of trades that you can hold with confidence, knowing that you're aligned with institutional traders and value, and this is where that all starts. So let's jump into the charts. Okay, so what you're looking at here is a hourly chart on Tesla. I'm going to be using stocks just to show you how demonstratable this concept is on assets outside of futures. Plus, most people don't swing trade futures. They'll swing trade stocks and options and cryptocurrencies for the most part. So that's what our focus of this video is going to be. The purple and green lines are going to be your monthly VWAP with one standard deviation to both sides. And this starts on the first trading day of the month. And then the blue with orange, this is going to be your weekly VWAP. Okay. Now this video isn't going to be about the actual system and strategies. You'll need to understand that first before this makes total sense. But there's the 4 core setups of the VWAP wave system. And to go through it real quick, price discovery continuation, that's going to be longs above or below the one standard deviation. So we're looking for price discovery continuation. When we're between the bands, we expect rotational behavior in value, and we can also expect the VWAP to hold as well. We have a return to value where we're trading outside of the bands and we begin to trade into a value area, and our price target will be the point of control or the VWAP. If we can get past the VWAP, we expect to go to the other side of value. And if the VWAP can hold or we can't get to the VWAP, we would expect to go back up in value. Lastly, our other setup is the VWAP bounce. And that's when we're trading outside of value. We come back, we test the VWAP, and we bounce. Tesla's obviously been very, very strong this month in September. So the best setups are taking place on the monthly VWAP, right? And our price discovery long locations on this hourly chart have been on pullbacks close to the upper monthly band, right? These setups have produced over and over again for multi-day holds on the monthly VWAP. Now, if we layer in the weekly on top of it, right, it gives us a little more insight, right? And we can be buying the lower band as a fade value or extreme long. This has held up a bunch of times as well. And a short at the upper band. If we can't get above the upper band, right, we can expect a retrace to the lower band. Okay, so a combination of these two gives you real insight into where the setups are taking place. Here's another look at a different point in time. We can see that Tesla here was pretty much range trading within the monthly VWAP bands, right? So if we can't get above the upper band, we'll go to VWAP. We can't get past the VWAP, we'll go back up. We had a little bounce before we retraced down to the lower band. Okay. Eventually we're able to break out and hold. We have some VWAP bounce on the weekly for some continuation trades. Okay. So these setups are taking place over and over. I would use the monthly and the weekly for shorter term trades, usually days, maybe to a week or more, but mostly this is going to be a multi-day trade. Okay. Now this is just Tesla. I encourage you to look at these specific levels on other assets. We could also do this on Bitcoin. And you can see how this higher time frame levels are panning out. Weekly VWAP holding the upside. You know, we've been having a little bit of a sell-off, monthly VWAP rejection, bounce at monthly lower band, and now we're having an increased sell-off to the downside. But you can see these levels playing significant importance and respected on the higher time frames. Here's an hourly chart on Bitcoin where you can see confluence to the upside, right? VWAP bounce held, and then we held the upper bands for continuation on the way up. So good Bitcoin swing long using the weekly upper band and the monthly upper band. Now, for those of you who want longer hold times, multiple weeks even, we can hop over to the daily chart and now use a monthly VWAP. Okay, so you just use the volume weighted average price indicator. If you go to indicators, type in volume weighted average price. It's this one included right here. It's not one of the community indicators. It's one of the main indicators. And you can choose your weekly, monthly, session, quarter, yearly, century, all these types of great anchored VWAPs. The yearly can be very powerful on the daily chart. Right? This is where you can scoop up really powerful long-term positions. Right? So in August 4th of 24, right? This is a lower band long. We then bounced off of upper band, broke, held, and we got a huge move. And that was a huge price discovery long off of the yearly upper band, right? But you can see some value-based trading on Bitcoin for quite some time in 2024. And this is 2025. You can see that price discovery continuation short we had in April. We had a return to value, break and bounce of VWAP, right? And now we're holding above upper band as we've had a bullish run on Bitcoin, which might be attempting to finally return to value. At this point, I'll be watching VWAP, lower band on the year to kind of see where we find some support. Now we can layer this. This is the daily chart on Bitcoin. Let's go back over to Tesla. All right, here's our yearly VWAP. Okay, so this is the beginning of the year, right? We had clear price discovery, continuation short, return to value, VWAP bounce short, held upper band, upper band, upper band, holding VWAP long, right, until we finally broke. And now we're finally seeing some price discovery continuation on Tesla, right? So these longer term VWAPs, especially the yearly and the monthly, should give you some serious insight into where there's true price discovery to the upside or whether we're essentially just trading in value, right? And should give you some confidence of when a good short or long should be initiated on the longer term time frames. Right? The same concepts apply. My 4 core setups that I go over in the book and in many of my videos apply to these higher time frames in the exact same way that I use on the intraday trading system. So just all these same concepts apply just to the higher time frames and the longer anchored VWAPs. Now what we can also do, which is very powerful, is use the volume profile on top of this. And this is Tesla. Right? We can pull out this is in the drawing tools, but a fixed range profile to let us see where the real value areas are being built, right? And when we're in real price discovery, okay? So once I have this volume profile, I can use the low volume nodes, right? And these show me the real key levels that we need to break and hold to see further upside or downside. Right? And then we can do high volume nodes, and these make excellent profit targets and support areas. Okay, and now as I'm watching my swing positions, these are going to be key areas. You can see how we rejected there. We broke above it, we held. Now we're trading in this distribution. And again, this video is not about understanding the volume profile. You're going to need to watch my other videos on how to understand what a high volume node is versus a low volume node, how they react. All right, high volume nodes tend to be value areas where price rotates. Low volume nodes tend to be support and resistance areas, and when we break above them, we can expect a return to the point of control, which is the middle of a high volume node, and key levels to watch where we can see further upside or downside. All right, and we assume that we're going to stay in a high volume node until we materially escape it. Okay, so we layer all of these concepts together with the high time frame VWAPs, right? So I have a low volume node lining right up with VWAP. That's a great long spot, right? Or I could have more conviction to the upside above it, short below it, right? With a profit target here or here. So a combination of these tools can really assist you with your longer term swing positions, your investing, multi-day, multi-week, and multi-month positions using these tools. All of the concepts stay the same. All right, so if you really don't understand the system, that needs to come first. I encourage you to buy my book. It's available on Amazon. It's a top 10 bestseller in the trading category, futures trading category, top 5 as of late. That will teach you the setups. All right, so you need to learn the 4 core setups. You can also download my free core setup guide as an intro to kind of get you situated. We have a free Discord community where you can pop in and ask questions and learn how you can apply this system to your swing and position trading. But this video is not about that. This video is to show you how these longer term tools set up the trades, but you still need to learn the principles and the concepts and the 4 core setups to apply them. All right, so this video in and of itself is not enough. At this point, if this interests you, I encourage you to pick up the book, download the free setup guide. There's a link for that in the description below. And you can get started in learning how to apply the VWAP Wave System to your swing trading. But it's completely applicable. It works fantastically. I use it in my investing and my options trading and my cryptocurrency trading. I do not use anything different than the VWAP Wave System for all of my investing and trading. And it helps give me serious insight like no other tool or system I've seen do. So I encourage you to give it a look, give it a review, take these tools, put them on your charts, see what you find, learn the core setups, and go from there. Hope to see you in my group. Have a great day, traders, and we'll see you in the next video.